What's up guys, Lauren here, aka Hi My Pippy. If you're new to this channel, this is my space all about veganism, conscious living, sustainability, and holistic wellness. So if any of that interests you, definitely hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all of my future videos. So today I'm going to be sharing my vegan story with you guys. I am so excited to share this with you and to hopefully inspire some people to adopt a vegan lifestyle. So I'm going to be talking about why I went vegan and how veganism has evolved for me in the last 5 years, any benefits I've noticed, what I've saved as a vegan, so in terms of animals, water consumption, things like that, and probably going to end off with some documentaries that I recommend, my favorite YouTubers and Instagrammers that are vegan, that are spreading an amazing message about veganism. And yeah, so let's just get right into it. I decided to go vegan on January 13th, 2013 after watching the documentary Forks Over Knives. Prior to deciding to go vegan, the 4 months leading up to that decision, I had cut out all animal products from pigs and cows. So I was no longer consuming beef or pork for about 4 months leading up to going vegan. I wasn't vegetarian before. I definitely went vegan overnight. It was something that just clicked for me, and I made that connection and I was like, that's it. I am vegan 125%. So I watched the documentary, as I said, with Dr. Colin Campbell and Dr. Esselstyn, and it changed my life. And I'm so grateful that that documentary fell into my lap and that I was able to watch it, and that it led to such a profound change in my life, such a positive change. So after that documentary ended, I was vegan. There was no two ways about it. That documentary really opened my eyes to the fact that I didn't have to continue supporting an industry that slaughtered animals for our consumption. That I could eat a diet and thrive without ever having to harm another animal. And that really spoke to me, because prior to being vegan, I would have always said I was an animal lover. I loved animals, and there was just that disconnect of loving animals but also eating animals. It doesn't really add up. So once I went vegan, it was like these morals and ethics that I had were now being shown, if that makes sense. So like, I loved animals, and obviously I didn't want them to be harmed, but I was still eating them. So once I went vegan, it's like all these beliefs that I had I was now living my truth, I guess. Maybe that's the best way I can say it. Anyways, yeah, after that documentary, I was vegan. I went home and my mom's like, I made salmon for dinner, and I'm like, oh, well, I'm vegan now, so I don't eat that, sorry. And my family definitely thought I was crazy, kind of going through a phase that was really extreme to no longer eat animal products or their byproducts. And it was never a phase for me. It was never a diet. It was immediately a lifestyle. My whole lifestyle shifted the moment I decided to go vegan. And I decided to go vegan for the animals, for the environment, and for myself. So from the very beginning, my decision to go vegan has been an ethical decision. So I will say proudly that I am an ethical vegan, and that extends far past my diet. It really encases my whole life. So now I'm going to talk about one of the most amazing benefits that veganism has given me, and that is clear skin. I had really, really bad skin from about the age of 12 when I first got my first breakout, and I was devastated and didn't really know how to deal with that, because being a preteen and just wanting people to think that you're attractive and to like you, having a breakout seemed to really throw me off for a loop confidence-wise. My skin really gave me such a low self-esteem and low self-worth and low self-confidence. It was very difficult for me for almost a decade. So from about the age of 12 until 21, when I went vegan, my skin was always an issue, and I was always covering up my skin. I was always wearing so much makeup to cover it, which was just a perpetual cycle of making it worse, because I never allowed my skin to heal or to breathe, and I was constantly putting these toxic products on top to cover it so that I could feel attractive on the outside. and it just obviously was not the best thing for me to do for my skin, but it happened, and I fed that kind of skin issue, that acne issue, for almost a decade, and I just kind of thought that that was going to be my reality forever, that I was always going to have bad skin, and I was always going to be uncomfortable with how I looked without makeup. So going vegan transformed my skin. Within 2 or 3 weeks of adopting a vegan diet, I noticed my skin clear up. Like, it was like night and day. It was the craziest stuff ever, because obviously I hadn't had clear skin in a decade, and all of a sudden to see my acne just disappearing and clear skin being left over, I was like, whoa, this is crazy. So in turn of seeing less acne on my skin, I started to wear less makeup, or I'd go makeup free for a day or so. And that also really helped my skin heal as well, because I was no longer masking everything going on. I was kind of finally allowing my skin to just be. And yeah, within weeks I had brand new skin. I haven't had acne like I used to since going vegan. Going vegan really transformed my skin, and I know that's not everyone's story, and I'm not going to sit here and say that going vegan is the answer to your acne problems, because I know that's not the case for some people, and it's a much deeper issue, acne. But I am just speaking to my own story and my own truth, that veganism really did transform my skin, and it's the reason I have clear skin now. That made me more comfortable in the skin that I was in. So I stopped having to wear makeup, or stopped feeling like I needed to wear makeup. I never had to wear makeup. I always felt like I needed to wear makeup in order to be attractive on the outside. I stopped wearing makeup, you know, for weeks at a time, and then eventually it became a thing where I haven't put makeup on in, I want to say, 1.5 years. It's been a long time now. Putting makeup on is such a tedious process for me. I actually hate having it on my skin. I feel like my skin can't breathe when I wear makeup. Now, not wearing makeup and not feeling like I have to rely on makeup, I am so much more comfortable in how I look without makeup, that putting makeup on is so bizarre to me. Like, I don't feel like myself. Anyways, yeah, so my whole point is that veganism allowed me to stop having to wear makeup and rely on makeup, and that is a gift in and of itself. Like, I never thought I was going to be able to be a person that didn't have to wear makeup, a person that didn't have to worry about washing their skin. I used to envy friends in high school who had flawless skin and would never wash their face and go to sleep with makeup on and wouldn't break out, and I was like, wow. I wish I was that person, and now I am that person, and it's just crazy to think that my skin now is so low maintenance, whereas before it was so high maintenance. So anyways, eliminating meat and dairy and eggs really transformed my body and allowed me to heal my skin, and for that I am forever grateful. So that's just one of my favorite benefits of going vegan. I tell everyone that if that was the only one thing that I experienced, it would be enough to continue being vegan for the rest of my life, because it gave me my skin back and confidence and all of that amazing goodness. Okay, so how has veganism evolved for me in the last 5 years? Like I said, I've been vegan for a little over 5 years now, so naturally there's got to be some kind of progression since going vegan in 2013 to now in 2018. So when I first went vegan, I had no vegan friends. I was the only vegan person I knew, which is why I eventually made an Instagram account focused on vegan content and sharing my vegan lifestyle, because I didn't know anyone in real life. So I figured, well, I might as well take to the internet and try and find local vegans and have friends that are vegan, even if they're only through the internet. So I think that was in June 2014, so almost 1.5 years after going vegan, that I decided to make an Instagram account dedicated to, you know, my vegan lifestyle and connecting with other vegans, and that decision was very good to me. It is the reason that I have the friends I have. It's the reason that I'm able to connect with people all over the world that share my lifestyle. So I have managed to build an amazing group of friends that are vegan through the internet, through Instagram, both locally, so, you know, within an hour or two of where I live, and then also just, you know, on the internet of just, you know, friends that live in Australia or live in England or wherever. So it's been amazing to build community. So that's definitely been an evolution since going vegan, is starting from no community and really being on my own on this journey and having no one to turn to for advice or anything like that. Like, I really had to figure out veganism all on my own. Whereas now, 5 years later, my boyfriend is vegan, my mom is vegan, both my sisters are vegan, all of my best friends are vegan, my close circle of friends are vegan, and that may sound crazy to some people that like I only surround myself with vegan people, but I genuinely just enjoy surrounding myself with people who share the same lifestyle as me. And yeah, I mean, I do have non-vegan friends and non-vegan family members, but my close immediate circle is vegan, and that's amazing for me that I was able to basically create that from nothing. So that's been an amazing evolution, just the vegan community in general. So I guess in regards to diet, how veganism has evolved for me. So when I first went vegan, obviously I kind of wanted like transition foods, as I call them, so like the faux meats and stuff like that. I wanted to try all these cool products that were on the market for vegans that were mock products. So I definitely ate, you know, my fair share of vegan chickens or vegan whatever, like, you know what I mean, like vegan faux meat products and cheese products. And that's totally fine. I feel like a lot of vegans, when they first transition, gravitate to more of the packaged faux products just because they are transitioning and they're kind of trying to figure out this whole vegan thing, and, you know, their taste buds, and they're going from eating meat and dairy for, you know, 20 plus years of their life mostly. And yeah, so it's definitely a process. I definitely ate way more processed packaged foods when I first went vegan versus now, where I definitely consume a more whole foods, plant-based diet. That's not to say that I never eat packaged or processed foods. I definitely do occasionally enjoy vegan junk food. Yeah, just not a staple in my diet. Like, I don't buy vegan faux meats on the regular basis. I would rather have beans or, you know, something like veggies, like, rather than having to rely on like a vegan chicken finger or something like that, if that makes any sense. My diet now is much more whole foods, plant-based. I try to eat gluten-free for the most part. I know that's not related to veganism. They're not the same. And I know a lot of vegans have definitely gotten that question of where people think they can't eat gluten because they're vegan. That's not the case. Not all vegans are gluten-free. I just personally don't process gluten well, and that's something I learned since going vegan. So I eat, I would say 90 to 95% gluten-free, and then that other 5-10% I allow myself to consume organic sourdough or organic sprouted bread products. My pastas are always gluten-free. I just cannot digest wheat pasta. It just doesn't work for me, whereas I can digest an organic sourdough or an organic sprouted bread, you know, more easily. Yeah, so I just seem to like, right now I'm just kind of gravitating towards more simple foods. I like to make my own foods. I like to try making new recipes. That's also a big thing that veganism brought into my life, was the joy of cooking. I also didn't cook prior to going vegan, and then going vegan and being the only vegan in my house, I had to learn how to cook the vegan things that I wanted, because I couldn't rely on someone else to be making me vegan food when that was my decision. So it really taught me to cook, and it really taught me to appreciate cooking, and now the kitchen is one of my favorite places. It's also like one of my least favorite places because of having to clean up all of my mess after. But I do love playing around the kitchen and making food, and just making food with love, and, you know, turning plants into something amazing. So yeah, it's definitely been an evolution from more processed packaged kind of stuff, vegan convenience foods, I guess I'll call them, to eating just like whole foods in their plant form. Plants in whole food form. Anyways, yeah, so that basically covers how veganism has evolved for me diet-wise and touching on community. So now I want to share what I've saved as a vegan. So there's a website called Vegan Calculator where you can input how many years you've been vegan and how many months. So for me, I put in 5 years, 3 months, and then it gives you a list of what you've saved as a vegan since you went vegan. So I wrote it down to share with you guys. So since being vegan, I have saved 2,106,500 gallons of water, 76,600 pounds of grain, 57,450 square feet of forest, 38,300 pounds of CO2, and 1,915 animal lives. So reading out those statistics to you is so profound for me to just see how much of an impact one person has had on the environment since going vegan. So a lot of people like to say that one person can't make a difference, but those statistics just show you that one person can make a difference. I alone in 5 years have saved almost 2,000 animal lives just by deciding to keep animals off of my plate. And that is so incredible. It makes me really emotional to think about. And it's just so amazing to think about how one decision can truly impact the world that we live in. And I know that it may seem like we're not making a difference on an individual scale, but there's so many of us, and collectively we are making a difference, and we are helping the animals, and we are helping the environment by deciding to be vegan, to live a vegan lifestyle, to eat more plants. It's all for the greater good of this planet, and I am so grateful that I found this path, and I know that every vegan in my life is also grateful that they found this path and that they can be a part of such an amazing movement. Veganism just holds such a special place in my heart, and it's just been the best thing that I could have ever done for myself and for the animals and for the environment. Not a day goes by that I'm not grateful for watching that documentary and having my life profoundly changed and being able to profoundly change other people's lives. In the 5 years that I've been vegan, my boyfriend has gone vegan, my mom has gone vegan, and my sisters have gone vegan. And that is incredible for me to know that just in my immediate circle, that 4 people who I love have made that connection and decided to go vegan and adopt a vegan lifestyle as well. And it just goes to show that we're always inspiring the people around us. So just keep doing what you're doing, keep spreading the vegan message, keep spreading the love about veganism and sharing with people in your own way. Everyone has their own way of activism. I personally am not a frontline activist. I've never been to a vigil. I don't go to slaughterhouses. I don't do things on that end of the spectrum. And I am so grateful for the people that do. My friend Carly and her boyfriend James, they are amazing vegan activists, and they are always front and center, and they are always sharing the awful things that happen to animals in slaughterhouses. And I'm so grateful that there are people like them sharing that message in that way, because I personally don't think I could dedicate my life to that. It would be a very depressing thing for me. So I am grateful for the vegans that do speak out in that form of activism, whereas my form of activism is using social media to inspire people to eat a vegan diet and sharing with them, vegan meals, and teaching people that veganism is not just a diet and that it does really apply to our lifestyle, and kind of how that unfolds for me. So for me, veganism is rooted in compassion and consciousness, and there's compassion for all living beings. If we're familiar with ahimsa, that is compassion and nonviolence for all living beings, and animals are included in non-living beings. They are sentient beings that feel, and veganism is, for me, is rooted in that compassion for all living beings. So for all people of this earth, for all animals of this earth, and for trying to make this world a better place for all of us. And then on the consciousness side of it, it is being conscious of every decision that I make. And that may seem very tedious to people, but I am very conscious in all the decisions that I make. I vote with my dollars, not only for veganism, but also I vote with my dollar in the form of supporting organic farmers and organic companies. I support ethical companies, zero waste companies. It all really blends together for me on this consciousness level of really doing what is best for our environment. So for me, veganism and zero waste and sustainability, they are all blended together, and they all just make sense that as a vegan we would give a crap about the environment. And so making sure that we are responsible for the waste that we are creating and reducing our waste and our plastic consumption at the same time. So being aware of what of our habits and then making greater changes. So that was long-winded and probably went off on a tangent, so thank you for listening to that. I'm gonna wrap up this video just sharing a few documentaries that I think you should watch if you are considering going vegan. Number 1 would be Forks Over Knives. Number 2 would be Cowspiracy. Number 3 would be Earthlings. And I will preface saying Earthlings is very graphic, and I'm grateful that it's so graphic because it truly opened my eyes to everything that we use animals for. So whether it's for entertainment, for food, for clothing, for animal testing, all of the facets that animals are abused for, it really does not mask what's happening. And I think that we need to see that so that we can make a change within ourselves, so that we can make a change for our greater good. Those are my top 3 documentaries that I would recommend for anyone interested in going vegan. If you have any other documentaries that you would like to recommend, definitely leave them down below in the comments. Some of my favorite vegan YouTubers that I recommend you guys checking out for some vegan inspo would be Ellen Fisher, Jinti Fell, Kayla VandeSande, The Adventures of Jade, Maddie Lymburner, and Bonny Rebecca. Definitely check out all those amazing vegan women. I am so inspired by all of them and so grateful that they are sharing their voice and their message on, Instagram and on YouTube. So yeah, I think that wraps up everything for this video. I've told you guys why I went vegan, when I went vegan, one of my favorite benefits since going vegan, how veganism has evolved for me. I've shared some statistics of what I've saved as a vegan in an environmental sense, and I've given you some recommendations for documentaries and some YouTubers for you guys to watch. So I think my job here is done. So thank you guys for tuning in today. I really appreciate you guys sitting here and listening to my vegan story. I hope that my story can inspire someone to start their own vegan journey. And if you ever have any questions about veganism, definitely don't hesitate. I am more than happy to sit and chat with you about veganism and going vegan and all of that good stuff. So you can always message me if you have any questions. And I'm so grateful for everyone's support. So thank you for everyone who does watch these videos and does subscribe to my channel. It really means a lot, and I'm so excited to create more content and share more of my lifestyle with you guys and more of my passions. So if you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I'd also love it if you guys would hit that post notification bell. That way you will get notified every single time I post a new video, so you can stay up to date and never miss a video. And yeah, that's all for today, guys. You guys are the best, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.